How do you define a good day? For me, if I don't start peeing before my pants are down, that's a good day. Last year I turned 69, closer to dead than to alive. I realized I will no longer die young. One thing to cross off my anxiety list. Knowing that one day the last thing I say will be the last thing I said, and vice versa. I grew up on another idea of 69. All I could say is, you could choke. I never liked it. Too much going on. Now ADD is who we are. I have identified a new malady called FAD, full attention disorder, for people who can only focus on one thing at a time. They are working on a medication for that now. Last June, I turned 70 and I gave myself a big surprise party. If you don't think turning 70 is a big surprise, you just wait. I digress. It's all about digressing now. I was talking to my friend Bonnie, who was going on, and I have no idea what the fuck she is talking about. I keep waiting for those few words that will give me a clue and bring me back on board. It isn't happening. And finally I scream, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. A friend posted a photo on Facebook that she had taken of a group of us from the previous evening. I click on the link, see the photo, and I'm not in it. Then I see a woman wearing the same coat I was wearing. And upon closer scrutiny, she is also wearing the same earrings I was wearing. A holy fucking shit moment. When I see my nephew a few days later, I ask him, when you look at me, do you see someone you recognize? Yes, he replies, looking at me blankly. Later, he emails to say that often he doesn't understand where I'm coming from. Wait 30 years, he will. I never had children not wanting to replicate the relationship I had with my mother. All I can tell you is that I became my own mommy dearest. To say dysfunctional family is redundant. I am an aunt and recommend it. I went to visit my niece several months ago to spend time with her fabulous children. Esri, who was soon to be 5, had just been weaned of her diapers at the very time in my life when I now almost regularly wear pads. My brand of adult pads are called Free to Pee, You and Me. The slogan, laugh as hard as you want, ladies. You can find them on sale after the show. Esri still has some incidents, so my niece suggests that I take her to the toilet often. Perfect. I never say no to an opportunity to pee. I always assume I have to pee, and I'm always right. If I am even thinking about peeing, it is already too late. As children, we were bedwetters. My brother and I make the long trek from our bedrooms to the washing machine, sadly carrying our soaked sheets. Common wisdom today is that there may be an emotional component. Fear and insecurity may trigger it. We grew up with the knowledge that our maternal grandmother has been, and I quote, buried alive by the Nazis. That would probably do it, don't you think? A killed grandmother. Her absence is a gaping presence in our lives. And the horror of how she has died is so great that I never imagined more of her life than just that moment. And some part of me goes into deep freeze at a very young age. We grew up in a family where no one talks about dying. It is being killed for being Jewish that gets our attention. We wet our beds. We pee. Wouldn't you wet the bed if someone told you those stories? That could really scare the shit out of someone. So wetting the bed is not so bad, right? I mean, we could have been bed shitters. There's a bright side to every story. Growing up, I lie whenever I can. I guess it seems like safer than the truth. I go to Girl Scout camp with a photo of my father wearing a black sweater over a white shirt. I say he's a minister. I tell you that the 3 badges I could have earned most easily were stealing, overeating, and lying. And the truth is that we are Jewish. And in 1949, once you leave Washington Heights, you are venturing into new territory, Riverdale. The word is out, more Jews are moving in. First day on the block, I get my face slapped and I'm called a dirty Jew. When I was 11 years old, I formed a stamp club. I enlisted my brother and some friends to join. I was the president, the secretary, and the treasurer. What can I tell you about myself that could possibly be more revealing? So it will not surprise you to learn that I am now organizing the Control Freak Olympics, where control freaks can speak openly and honestly about how hard it is to get someone to do what you want. Mostly now I play it out with my partner. I asked him to put the brie on a plate with crackers for guests. He put the crackers so close to the cheese that the cheese was running all over them. I could feel it coming on. An attack of, no, that is not the way to put brie on a plate with crackers. Then I asked myself, how do I know that? Is it written somewhere? Is there a wrong way to put brie on a plate with crackers? My sister Renee assures me there is a wrong way. I have an opinion about every fucking thing, including the way he tells stories about his own life. I tell them better, of course. I finally found my voice about 15 years ago. Before that, I had my scream, my shriek. My husband used to say to me in his logical way, "You don't have to scream, I'm right here." Of course, he was wrong. I did have to scream. What I didn't know then is that I didn't need to scream at him. Do I believe in a higher power? You bet I do. Carbs and marijuana. People believe a lot of crazy shit with much less proof. I need a younger dealer. My dealer is even older than I am. Who will continue to supply me until I forget I want it? Marijuana is the one addiction at which I draw the line. No way am I giving that up. Mind altering? You betcha. Out of my mind? Good idea. If you had access to my mind on some days, you go out and buy it for me as an act of mercy. On a good day, I tread water in the think tank. I am ahead of my time. I don't get the munchies when I'm stoned. I reserve domain names. I now own more than 20. Helpful hints for things not to do when stoned. Do not initiate or send emails of any kind whatsoever. Perhaps your computer needs a function that automatically waits 12 hours if it smells marijuana on your breath. Do not agree to do or say or do anything. For example, let's live together. Let's get married. I will never want anyone else. Do not order books on farts. They will not be funny. They will be serious, sociological, and historical. You will never read them. Do not convince yourself that carrot cake is a vegetable. I live with a wonderful other man. When we first get together, we both have more in common with each other than anyone else we know. My husband of 34 years has died, and his wife of 30 years has had a stroke and is in a nursing home. We comfort each other, eat together, hang out in various stages of disbelief and disorientation, start living together. We are both highly domesticated animals, and that model works well for both of us. He cooks dinner for me in my house and knows where the dishes are. I'm with an older man. I'm his older woman. After living together for 5 years, his wife passes away. One night he turns to me and says, "Well, I guess we should get married." "It's working as it is," I replied. "Okay," he says. He never brings it up again. I was talking to my partner about my segues, and he tells me they have become confidential. I could always keep a secret, but now I keep it from myself. I am on the non-segue tour. I recently cut my hair, which brings me to the question, what happened to the burning bush that used to be between my legs? All I know is the bald eagle has landed. The hairs on my leg made off with my libido, and the hairs under my arms have migrated to my chin. My new bra size is 36 long. "60 is the new 60. 70 is the new 70. If this is how I look, and this is my age, then don't I look my age? In this very moment, all of us here have something in common. We are now all the oldest we have ever been. I am pleased that at long last I work and play well with others. Thank you and good night, and don't forget to pee on the way out.